We all want to imagine a world where men, women, black, white, brown, everyone's considered equal and there's just humanity. Yes, it's International Women's Day, but it's about celebrating humanity and celebrating our differences.
I'm Bridget. I'm a current student at the University of Texas at Austin.
My name is Sophia, and I'm the project manager for 1600 Avenue.
Welcome to 2022 International Women's Day. I'm Franc, proud founder of 1600 Avenue, a Silicon Valley an LA-based 501c3, and 1600 Cyber, a pan-European cyber consultancy based in Europe.
When I was a little kid, I was always really fascinated by space. Maybe it's because I didn't have any female engineers or scientists in my family. I didn't think there was a place for me. How can I pivot in a way to make my dreams a reality? I'm so glad that I made that hard decision. Today, I'm actually working in a field that I'm so excited to be part of.
If anything, I want sort of my journey coming from very humble beginnings to where I am now to be like, you can push the envelope, right? You can shatter the ceilings. Take risks, right? Because you never know where that's going to take you or where it's going to land.
When we are talking about diversity, equity, inclusion, I'm not speaking to you from a position of theory. I am talking about my humanity, right? I am talking about being recognized as an individual human being.
Diversity is not just about the visible. Diversity includes everyone. Inclusion pretty much means the process of putting diversity into action. It has to work together. Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
My passion, it really starts at home with my mom. I grew up in a single parent household with a very strong mother. I had to learn at a certain point that listening was very important, especially when you're given a role of leadership. A leader needs to listen.
I was a little entrepreneur as a child too, thinking about the future. It's not child's play getting into the business of being an entrepreneur and trying to drive a dream home. My biggest challenge has been ignorance and abstinence and overcoming that with grit and perseverance.
Still seeing a huge amount of bias, really, and even though we're talking around, I've been in technology for 20 years, yet we're still talking about jobs for men, jobs for women, and that really has to change.
When we see this sort of systemic bias or judgment, it does make the ceiling real, right? It does send a message of you can't go beyond X point.
How do we make sure that we set up individuals to succeed and make the connections that they're needing to be able to learn, advance, and upskill into new positions and feel like they do in fact belong.
Reminding myself of all the times that I did take those risks, that I did step into a place where people didn't believe that I would fit in or believe that I could succeed. I've been in the enterprise technology space for about 20 years. As senior female leaders, we should also be reaching out to people and soliciting people to help them along their career paths.
It is a function of just willingness to apply yourself over and over and over in small ways on a daily basis that leads to the ultimate bigger outcome.
Have permission to show up as my whole self. I think that's really, really important because it's not just about the organization giving you permission to be your whole self, but it's also about you giving yourself permission to show up as your whole self. I just dream of that sort of world where it's a non-conversation and where we can just all be equal.
There's going to be failure with every success.
We made a lot of progress, and I think it's a wonderful thing. We're finally now part of the conversation.
Listen and then celebrate the voices that are different, embracing your authentic self.
Now that you know something, what are you going to do to change things?